Hey guys, Ryan King here, and I'm the keyboard instructor for worshipartistry.com. In today's YouTube lesson, we're going to take a look at the song Fearless by Mia Fields. And specifically, we're going to take a look at the tone section. Now, we're only going to look at the tone, so if you want to see the entire lesson, you need to click the link and head over to Worship Artistry where you can sign up for a free account today. But in case you just want to check out a YouTube video, this is for you. This song has a lot of cool keyboard sounds to it. And if you happen to have a lot of options at your fingertips, then it really will help set it apart and make it a lot of fun to play. In case you don't happen to have all of these sounds, you can really get through the song just using an acoustic piano and a nice pad. Now for me, I'm using a variety of different pieces of software, 3 of them basically, and one of them is called Ivory. Ivory is my main acoustic piano plugin. And basically I've just dialed up a big grand piano. I've added some reverb to it. I've also added a delay that's set to quarter notes, and it sounds like this. You can hear how that delay gives it a nice trail to the end of that acoustic piano. In addition to the acoustic, I'm also using an electric piano. This is basically just a Fender Rhodes. It's got some reverb tied to it. I've also added in a little bit of distortion or drive to the sound to give it a little bit of grit and bite. And I've also added a delay to it, and that delay is set to a dotted 8th note, and it sounds like this. You can hear how that delay adds a nice effect to the end of that electric piano. And this particular electric piano is coming out of a piece of software called Contact, made by Native Instruments. And it's just basically a standard Fender Rhodes, and I've just applied some reverb and delay to it. My third piece of software that I use is called Omnisphere, and it's really my big synth engine. This is what I use for all my pads, leads, basically anything that's not acoustic piano or electric piano. And basically what you see here is my iPad. My iPad is just a controller. It's not the actual software. The software is inside of my computer where all of my sounds are generated from. And I just use this as a controller to choose between the different sounds. Now, basically I'm using 2 pads, and one of the pads is called Beauty and Breath, and that one is basically just an analog pad, and it sounds like this. In addition to that pad, I'm also using another one called Hummer. And this one basically is it's got a shimmer to it, almost like a voice kind of sound, kind of airy, high pitch. And I've pitched the sound actually up by an octave, so it's not in the same register as the other one. So it really helps fill out the pad sound. And it sounds like this. When you combine both of those together, it sounds like this. And those are the pads that I use. In addition to that, during the intro, we kind of have this nice plucking sound. And the main sound that you hear is called a Roomba box. And this is almost like a kalimba or a marimba, something that sounds kind of almost like wood being hit. If you're familiar with a marimba, then you use mallets to play it. And so it doesn't have as hard of attack as, say, a piano or something like that. It sounds like this. Now there's a lot of effects applied to this marimba. It basically has a delay and reverb, and the reverb is just massive. It just helps the sound continue on. Now I've used 2 instances of this, this particular sound, and one instance is down here around middle C. The other instance is just an octave higher, but the sound is not an octave higher. It's just moved up on the keyboard because I'm playing a couple of different sounds in conjunction with it, and it sounds like this. So you can see it's in the same register as down here, but if I play up on that one, you don't hear it. If I play down on the other one, you don't hear it. So I have to play in the right register. In addition to that kind of marimba sound, I've got a synth, and it's real, almost like a plucking sound. It sounds like this. I have the same one an octave higher. When you add them together, and that's the plucking sound that we use for the intro as well as during the bridge. Now when you combine those two together with the pads, they sound like this. So you can see how as we begin to layer, it really adds more dimension to the song. Now finally, I've got two really big synth patches that I use, and they have a really unique arpeggiator applied to each one of them. The first one is what I use during the chorus, and it's basically just a big synth stack. It's got a short release on it, so it's kind of got a plucking sound. And the arpeggiator is set to 16th notes, and all of the 16th notes are about the same volume, and it sounds like this. Now, as you could hear there, that particular sound, I have a cutoff applied to it, and that cutoff is programmed to my expression pedal. I have a sustain pedal, and then I have an expression pedal, and this expression pedal just goes backwards and forwards. And as I push it down or push it forwards, the sound gets brighter. If I pull back, it gets darker. And that really helps during the chorus as I want to build some momentum, build some energy. I don't have to have that synth patch just blaring the entire time. I can draw it back and build it over time. In addition to that one, I have another one. It's called Perky Plucks. This one is set to 32nd notes, and it's really short. And instead of it playing a chord, it plays individual notes of the chord, and it goes down and up. And in addition to going down and up, the individual 32nd notes, every other one is either an octave higher or an octave lower. So if I just play one note, it sounds like this. And then two notes. And then three notes. I've also got my expression pedal programmed to the cutoff on that particular sound, so I can kind of build it in over time. When you add a lot of these different ones in together, it can sound like this. So those layers really add a nice effect to it. And so again, this is Omnisphere. Many of you might not have this piece of software, but if you do, it's really a great tool to have. And I'll do another blog post on my actual keyboard rig and give some detail as to what I'm using and how it's set up. But again, this is Omnisphere. I'm using two pads, Beauty and Breath and Hummer. And then I'm basically using two instances of two different sounds. One is this dark plucking sound, and then the Roomba box, and then together, and then again an octave higher, and then we have our big chorus synth, and then we have our nice plucky synth. And those are the sounds that I use for this tune. Now remember, if you don't have all of these sounds, it's okay. You can play this song using an acoustic piano and just a pad, and you'll pretty much be good to go. Be sure to click the link and head over to worshipartistry.com where you can sign up for a free account today. Every lesson comes with a music video where you can change different video angles, as well as step-by-step instruction for different sections of the song. We also have loop videos that you can practice along to, as well as sheet music, chord charts, guitar tabs, and a whole lot more. So what are you waiting for? Click the link and sign up for a free account today.